In the vastness of the Andromeda Galaxy, a sleek, silver vessel glided silently through the nebulae, its surface glimmering like 1,000 stars caught in a sea of darkness. This was the Alara, the flagship of the Zelfari, an advanced race known for their intellect and technological prowess. They had traversed the galaxy, but their encounters have mostly been with primitive species and desolate planets. Today, however, they were on a mission of exploration, seeking new knowledge and perhaps allies. Commander Leral, a distinguished leader among the Zelfari, stood at the helm, her eyes fixed on the pulsating light of a nearby star system. Scanners swept over the region, searching for signs of intelligent life. Suddenly, a blip appeared on the screens, an object unlike any they had seen before. "Commander, we've detected a massive vessel entering our sensor range," reported Aiken, the ship's chief navigator, his voice trembling with excitement. "What is it?" Leral asked, her antennae twitching in curiosity. "Unknown design, but its energy readings are off the charts. It's emitting a powerful electromagnetic field. I believe it is." Aiken paused, his eyes widening. "A warship." The word sent a ripple of anxiety through the crew. Warships were not common in their explorations. The Zelfari had only heard tales of such vessels, ominous in their reputation. Leral straightened, her resolve hardening. "Bring us closer, but maintain a safe distance. I want to gather more data," she commanded, her voice steady. As the Alara approached, the colossal ship came into view, a magnificent display of metal and engineering, bristling with weapons and adorned with markings that suggested a long and storied history. It was unlike anything the Zelfari had ever encountered. "Fascinating," Leral whispered, a mixture of awe and trepidation filling her voice. "Prepare communication protocols." Attempting to establish contact, Aiken replied, fingers dancing over the controls. Static filled the air as the crew held their breath, anticipating a response from the mysterious vessel. Moments later, the silence shattered. A deep, resonant voice echoed through the Alara. "This is the United Terran Fleet. Identify yourselves." Leral's heart raced. The voice was powerful and commanding, tinged with an authority that resonated across the stars. "We are the Zelfari, explorers from the Andromeda Galaxy. We come in peace." There was a pause, then a low rumble of laughter. "Peace? A curious notion. We've never seen your kind before. Tell me, Zelfari, what is your purpose here?" "Knowledge," Leral replied, her mind racing. "We seek to learn about the universe and those who inhabit it. We are explorers, not conquerors." "Interesting," the voice said. "We are warriors. We defend our territory fiercely. But knowledge, you say? It is not often we encounter a species that values it over dominance." As the conversation unfolded, the Zelfari crew studied the human warship, marveling at its complex design. Its hull was reinforced, the engines pulsated with energy, and its weapon systems gleamed ominously under the starlight. They couldn't help but feel a mix of admiration and fear. "Show us your capabilities, Commander Leral," the voice continued. "We want to see how you defend your own." Leral hesitated but understood the implications. This was a test, an opportunity to demonstrate their abilities without inciting aggression. "Very well, we will initiate a series of defensive maneuvers," she said. With deft precision, she commanded the Alara into a series of intricate formations, weaving through asteroid fields and executing sharp turns. The crew watched in awe as the ship responded fluidly, its technology a harmonious blend of art and engineering. "Impressive," the human voice remarked. "Your vessel is agile, but can it withstand firepower?" Leral's antennae twitched as she responded. "We have our defenses, but we prefer not to use them unless necessary." With that, a simulation began. A holographic representation of the warship materialized alongside the Alara, and a barrage of simulated firepower rained down. The crew watched in a mixture of horror and fascination, knowing that while they could dodge and evade, they had never truly been tested in battle. Suddenly, alarms blared as a massive energy blast from the simulation struck the Alara. The ship jolted violently, and the crew gasped, their instincts driving them to brace for impact. But the ship held firm, its shielding absorbing the energy. "Now that is impressive," the voice boomed, this time filled with genuine respect. "You've shown that you are capable of defending yourselves, but more importantly, You've demonstrated the importance of unity and knowledge. Perhaps there is more to your kind than we initially thought. Leroy felt a surge of hope. We seek collaboration, not conflict. Imagine what we could learn from each other. The voice paused, a moment of contemplation. Very well, Commander Leroy, we shall explore this alliance. The universe is vast, and together, perhaps we can unlock its mysteries. As the Zelfari ship floated in the void, they watched as the human warship transformed before their eyes, its ominous exterior revealing a more intricate reality. The crew members felt a blend of trepidation and excitement, recognizing that they were standing on the precipice of something monumental. A new chapter in their history was beginning on that would be defined not by the weapons they wielded, but by the knowledge they sought. And as the two vessels drifted together in the cosmic sea, a sense of camaraderie began to form, illuminating the darkness of space with the light of understanding. In that moment, the Zelfari understood. The true power of life in the universe lay not in domination but in the awe of discovery, shared among all who dared to venture into the unknown. The stars shimmered faintly around the two ships as they floated in the vast, empty void of space. The human warship, a behemoth compared to the elegant Alara, cast long shadows over the Zelfari vessel. For several moments, there was nothing but silence between them. Commander Leroy stood motionless on the bridge, her mind racing with possibilities. The humans had shown their might, but it was their interest in collaboration that truly intrigued her. Commander, Aiken said, breaking the silence, incoming message from the Terran warship. Put it through, Leroy replied, her voice steady. The deep voice returned, though this time, there was an odd softness to it. This is Admiral Marcus Quinn of the Hercules. We've analyzed your ship's capabilities and, well, I'll be honest, Commander Leroy, your technology is unlike anything we've seen. It's efficient, but there's a certain elegance to it. Leroy nodded to herself, proud of the Zelfari legacy. Our technology is designed to be in harmony with the cosmos. Admiral, we believe that progress should be symbiotic with nature. A chuckle echoed through the channel. I can see that. Your ship moves like it's part of the stars themselves. We, on the other hand, prefer brute force and function. The Admiral's tone became more serious. I believe there is much we can learn from each other. But first, I must ask, have we never encountered your kind before? We've been expanding for centuries. Leroy hesitated. The Zelfari had long avoided direct contact with other galactic civilizations, preferring to observe from a distance. Our people have made it a policy to stay hidden, to avoid conflict. We've seen what wars can do. They burn bright and leave nothing but ash. I see. There was a pause. That may explain why you're still here, Commander. Humanity's history is messy, but it has forged us into what we are today. The bridge of the Alara remained silent, the crew hanging on to every word exchanged. They had studied countless civilizations from afar, but the humans, they were different. The raw power of their ship and the confidence in Admiral Quinn's voice spoke of a species forged in the fires of battle, a species not to be underestimated. Before Leroy could respond, the scanner systems flared to life with a sudden urgency. Aiken's fingers flew across the controls, his face pale. Commander, multiple unidentified vessels inbound. Fast. Hostile, Leroy asked sharply, her calm exterior suddenly shifting to focus. They're not Zelfari, and they're not human, Aiken replied, his voice tense. Their energy signatures are unstable. Leroy's heart raced. She turned to the communication console. Admiral Quinn, we're detecting multiple ships entering the system. Do you recognize them? There was a brief crackle. Then Quinn's voice returned, harsher than before. We've got them too. Damn, it's the Grokar. The name meant nothing to Leroy, but she could hear the edge of concern in the Admiral's voice. Who are they? A pirate fleet, Quinn answered. Savages. Really, they prey on anyone and anything. We've had run INS with them before, but not in these numbers. We're going to need your help. Leroy felt a surge of adrenaline. You can count on us, preparing for evasive maneuvers and defense. The Alara sprang to life under her command, its graceful movements contrasting sharply with the brutal power of the Hercules. As the Grokar ships came into view, Leroy's screen filled with data-spiked energy signatures, erratic engine outputs, and crude, spiked designs. They were mismatched, chaotic, built for destruction and little else. Activate defensive systems, Lirol ordered, her hands moving over the controls with practiced ease. Energy shields shimmered around the Alara, creating a barrier that made the ship nearly invisible against the starry backdrop. Meanwhile, the Hercules prepared for battle in a very different way. Massive turrets swiveled into place, missile bays opened, and the ship's engines roared as it accelerated forward like a charging beast. The human warship didn't hide it welcomed conflict. The Gruul car wasted no time. A volley of plasma fire streaked across the void, aimed directly at the Alara. Lirol's ship spun nimbly, dodging the attacks with precision, but the human warship responded differently. Its shields flared as it absorbed the full brunt of the attack. "Now you will see what we're made of," Admiral Quinn said through the comm, his voice tinged with a grim sort of satisfaction. A moment later, the Hercules unleashed its retaliation. Bright streaks of energy beams and missile trails arced through the vacuum, striking the Gruul car ships with pinpoint accuracy. Explosions lit up the darkness, and debris scattered into space as the human warship tore through the enemy fleet. But the Gruul car weren't easily deterred. More ships appeared from behind the asteroids, down scenes of them, each one charging headlong into the fight. Plasma cannons fired wildly, the space between the ships filled with streaking light. "Commander, they're overwhelming us," Aiken shouted, his hands moving frantically over the controls. "Focus on evasion," Lirol ordered, her voice calm despite the chaos. "We cannot match their firepower, but we don't need to." The Alara darted between the incoming fire, its shields flickering but holding strong. Lirol watched as the Hercules plowed forward, its hull absorbing massive hits but pressing on undeterred. Suddenly, the Hercules' comm channel burst to life. "Lirol, they're going for our engines. We need time to reposition." Lirol's mind raced. The humans had shown their strength, but now it was time for the Zelthari to demonstrate their strategic prowess. "We'll create a diversion," she said firmly, "prepare to take cover behind that asteroid field." Without waiting for a reply, she directed her ship straight toward the Gruul car fleet, making her vessel seem like an easy target. "Aiken, prepare the quantum distortion array." "Commander," Aiken asked, unsure. "Trust me," Lirol said, her antennae twitching with determination. As the Alara drew closer to the pirate ships, the Gruul car took the bait, turning their focus to the Zelthari vessel. Lirol initiated the array, and a moment later, the space around the Alara shimmered and distorted. Multiple holographic images of the ship appeared, spreading out in all directions. As the proximity alert blared through the Alara, the crew sprang into action. Lirol felt a surge of adrenaline. The looming threat of the Krellic warships filled the air with a palpable tension. They had always avoided conflict, focusing instead on exploration and knowledge. But this was different. Their very existence was at stake. "Commander, the Krellic ships are powering their weapons," Aiken shouted, his fingers flying across the control console as he gathered data on the approaching enemy. "We have only moments before they reach firing range." Lirol's mind raced. She glanced at the holographic display, which now showed 3 hulking Krellic ships, stark, menacing, and brimming with weaponry. They were notorious for their brutality in battle and had a reputation for annihilating anything that stood in their way. "Status report on the Terran vessel," Lirol commanded, determined to forge a path through this chaos. "Captain Hawthorne is initiating tactical maneuvers," Aiken replied, a hint of hope in his voice. "He says they're ready to engage." "Put him through," Lirol ordered. The screen flickered, revealing the rugged face of Captain Hawthorne, his eyes fierce with determination. "Commander Lirol, we need to act fast. If we can create a diversion, we might be able to flank them. Your ship's agility paired with our firepower could give us the upper hand." "Agreed," Lirol said, her heart pounding. "We'll initiate evasive maneuvers and draw their fire. You follow in support and target their shields. We can use our quantum displacement drive to stay one step ahead." "Understood. Let's show them what we can do together," Hawthorne replied, a confident grin breaking across his face. With the plan set, Lirol activated the ship's communication system. "All crew, prepare for battle. This is not just about our survival. It's about proving that knowledge and unity can overcome brute force. We stand together." The crew shouted their affirmations, adrenaline coursing through their veins as they took their positions. The Alara hummed with energy as Leroy's hands gripped the helm, ready to navigate through the storm that was about to unfold. Engaging the quantum drive, Akin called out, flipping switches as he initiated the sequence. As the Alara activated its drive, the starry void shimmered and warped around them. The ship surged forward, leaving behind a trail of light as it effortlessly slipped into a higher dimensional layer. They blinked in and out of existence, evading the first volley of Krellic fire that splashed against the space where they had just been. "Nah," Leroy shouted, her heart racing as they re-emerged behind the Krellic formation. The enemy warships were momentarily disoriented. A torrent of energy blasts erupted from the Alara's weapons, the precision strikes aimed at the vulnerable sections of the Krellic hull. "Target acquired," Akin yelled, firing. The Zeltharii ship unleashed its weaponry cascade of vibrant energy beams that slammed into the lead Krellic ship. The impact lit up the darkness of space, creating a blinding flash. "Direct hit, shields are down," Akin cheered, but the moment was short-lived as the remaining Krellic vessels returned fire, their cannons spitting deadly energy in retaliation. Leroy felt the ship shudder as a blast grazed the Alara's shields. "Reinforce the defensive systems, we can't let them break through." "Reinforcements coming in from the Terrans," Akin said, his voice steady despite the chaos. The Terran warship roared to life, launching its own volley of missiles and energy beams. The combined assault began to tear through the Krellic defenses. "Focus fire on that ship," Hawthorne's voice crackled through the comms. "We'll hit them hard and fast." Leroy could see the Krellic ships struggle to coordinate their defenses. It was clear they weren't accustomed to such rapid and unpredictable attacks. "Let's capitalize on their confusion," she yelled, guiding the Alara into a tight roll to avoid incoming fire. Engaging evasive maneuvers, Akin confirmed, executing a series of sharp turns and quick accelerations that sent the ship weaving through the deadly plasma fire. Leroy's heart raced with each near miss, each pulse of energy that struck the ship and rattled her crew. They were a finely tuned machine, working in concert with their new allies, learning to trust each other even amidst the chaos. "Now, while they're distracted," Hawthorne shouted, and the Terran warship flanked the Krellic vessels, delivering a concentrated barrage of firepower. Releasing the quantum pulse, Leroy shouted, her finger hovering over the controls. They'd been saving this last trick for when it mattered most. A pulse designed to disrupt enemy shields for a brief window, giving them a crucial edge. With a burst of energy, the Alara unleashed the quantum pulse. A wave rippled through the vacuum of space, striking the nearest Krellic ship. Its shields flickered and sputtered before collapsing, leaving the vessel vulnerable. "Nah, target their weapon systems," Leroy commanded. The Alara unleashed another series of focus beams, striking the Krellic's exposed weaponry. Explosions rocked the enemy ship, sending debris scattering into the void. "Two down, one to go," Akin called out, his excitement infectious. But just as victory seemed within their grasp, the remaining Krellic vessel pivoted, revealing its massive cannons, now fully charged and aimed directly at the Alara. "Brace for impact," Leroy shouted, but they were too late. A tremendous blast erupted, engulfing the Alara in a burst of energy that sent them spiraling into the depths of space. Alarms blared, and the ship trembled violently. "Status report," Leroy yelled, gripping the console. "Shields are down to 20%. We've lost power in several sections," Akin shouted back, urgency saturating his voice. But before despair could settle in, Hawthorne's voice broke through. "We're coming in. Hold on." The Terran ship maneuvered alongside the Alara, firing defensive salvos at the Krellic, allowing Leroy a moment to regroup. "Activate auxiliary power. We need to regain control," Leroy commanded. With the crew working tirelessly, the Alara sputtered back to life, its systems beginning to hum again. Leroy regained control of the helm, her mind focused and steady.